All of you, relax yourself, fold your legs, clasp your fingers, and sit straight and have a comfortable posture. And gently close your eyes. Just observe your breath, masters. Let's have a couple of breaths as deep and long. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again. And slowly let go. One more time, masters. Deep inhale. And slowly exhale. Let's relax our body parts. Relax your head. Relax your eyes. And your neck. Relax your shoulders. And your fingers. Relax your chest. Relax your thighs. Your legs. And your foot. Wiggle your toes. Feel the touch of Mother Earth. And show your gratitude. Just observe your normal, natural breath, masters. Let's not slip a single breath out of our awareness. If the mind is guru of senses, breath is the guru of our mind. Just observe your breath. Breathing is automatic process, masters. We don't need to do anything. Just observe them. If you get any thoughts, just observe them as passing clouds and falling leaf, and gently bring back yourself towards your breath. The more you observe your breath will take you wherever you're supposed to go, whatever is supposed to learn. Just follow your breath, masters. We need to observe sincerely and seriously. The more sincere we are observing our breath, the more deeper we can go, masters. We are in this journey of meditation to know more about ourselves. The more you observe your breath throughout the day, the more you know about you, masters. Last 2 minutes, masters. Every minute counts and every breath counts. Let's make use of our time by observing our breath, a normal, natural breath. The last 1 minute, masters. Gently bring back yourself to the present moment, to the physical body. Let's pay our sincere gratitude towards our parents, to our all gurus, Brahmashri Ramapatriji, Dr. G.K. Sir, to all PMC family and spiritual tablet family who all gathered here right now. Show our humble gratitude towards everyone for giving their energies. Let's thank Universe Masters, and finally thank ourselves for taking time to participate in the meditation and listening to the wisdom. Just slowly place your fingers on your eyes and slowly open your eyes. Thank you, Masters. Thank you everyone for joining. If you have a water beside, please have it. And now we can go to wisdom sharing session by Sindhuja ma'am. Let's continue Ikigai book with a different chapter. Thank you, Masters, and enjoy.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for your meditation session, taking up meditation. Yes, masters, we have come to the second day session on Ikigai. Let's quickly start the session. I'll share my screen. So yes, masters, in today's session, all about Ikigai. So we are mainly focusing on anti-aging secrets. That is the little things that add up to our long and happy life. So objective here is to share with you everything related to the first step you have to take in order to live a happy and long life. To first step that you have to do in order to achieve longevity and everything related to it. We shall see that. So coming to a quick recap of yesterday's session. Firstly, we saw regarding what are the identity crises that we are facing in today's days, and we also learned that we lack a purpose in life. Many of us lack purpose in life, but it's never too late to start something new. To learn something new, it's never too late. Then we learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this pyramid given by Abraham Maslow. And regarding logotherapy, some things regarding logotherapy, given by this Austrian psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, and some quotes from his book Man's Search for Meaning, and methods involved in logotherapy. And how authors, that is Viktor Frankl and Francis Mirrells, took up to write the book on this people, that is Ikigai, regarding the people, especially living in Okinawa, and the village there, that is Ogimi, known as the village of longevity. We also learned about the lifestyle of Ogimi people, and mainly regarding the Ikigai, that is the purpose, how purpose of life can be found by putting Maslow's hierarchy of needs into this Venn diagram. The Ikigai can be found basically in by following four directions, that is what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at, and which are framed around these four aspects, that is the four meanings, the four actions, four emotions, and two virtues. Also, we saw some of the examples, and we learned that main thing here is the balance. If we balance only, we can uh, have a happy life. We can find our purpose. We can live our purpose very happily. And we learned in brief introduction for what this book contains was given in chapter 1, and we learned about the 5 blue zones and the people who live there, what are the activities they do, and we had an amazing discussion yesterday regarding all the ikigai, regarding present days examples was shared, and all you people involved, and we discussed. It was a wonderful session yesterday. So in today's session, uh, we're going to see anti-aging secrets. From yesterday, we learned that Ikigai itself is a framework which has been delivered from uh, a city, Okinawa. And their authors, when they went and they collected the information to write this book, they got this. They came to know something unusual, which happens. There is least year age of people live there is 80 to 90 years old. So, what is the reason for this? They wanted to know, and they started to write this book. So, if the youngest guy who lives there is maybe a 89-year-old, what is the success for that? What is the success formula for that? And there may be few steps involved in it, which we are going to see one by one now. And this is the first thing. Uh, in this part, we're going to see everything related to what we have to do, activity in our life, the day-to-day activity, and all that things which related to stressing us and how to deal with it in a detailed manner. So, firstly, coming to age escape velocity, I would like to share this aging's escape velocity and a rabbit's story. So, first, masters, here I want you to imagine if there is a sign, as if there is a signboard in future with a number written on it that represents age of our death. And as every year you live, so you advance and you reach that signboard and you eventually die. So when you reach that signboard, you die. Now just imagine that there is a rabbit holding a signboard of representing our age, and it is walking to the future. And every year as we live, consider that the rabbit is moving forward. Say if the rabbit is moving forward by half year for every 1 year we live, that means our lifespan will be increased. but eventually we will reach the signboard and we will die. But what if that rabbit could walk at a pace of, or go at a pace of 1 year for every 1 year that we live? That means it forwards 1 year as we live 1 year. That means we are never going to chase the rabbit. That means we are never going to chase that signboard which says that you are done with age. That means age of death we are not going to reach. So that means we become immortal. So the speed at which the rabbit walks to the future, maybe it is known as the technology. The more we advance in technology and knowledge about our bodies, the faster we can make that rabbit to walk further. So age escape velocity is the moment at which the rabbit walks at a pace of 1 year for every 1 year, or even faster than that. So age escape velocity can be told like we have managed like zero point 0.3 years we have added seeing past years to life expectancy. But what happens if technology is further improved means maybe we can reach that immortal stage, and age escape velocity we can make it 1 year for every 1 year, means that means we may become reach that immortality. But what happens is here, considering researchers, some are less optimistic, and the opinion that we can't age more than 120 years because biologists say our cells stop regenerating. So coming to all the what all we have to do in order to age less in a less is, firstly, active mind. We should have an active mind and youthful body. So here, masters, there is a lot of wisdom in this saying. You can observe this wisdom. Classic saying is "mens sana in corpore sano." That means a sound mind in a sound body. It reminds us of both that mind and body are important, and the health of one is connected to the other. So it has been shown that maintaining an active from studies, it has been shown that maintaining an active and adaptable mind is one of the key factors in staying young. So having said that, masters, having a youthful mind also drives us towards healthy lifestyle that will allow our aging process slow down. Just as lack of physical exercise has negative effect on our body and our mood, similarly lack of mental exercise is bad for our neurons, our in mind, and it deteriorates, and as a result of that it reduces the ability to react to the surroundings in a exact way, in a proper way. And hence this is why it is so important to give our brain the workout or activity. So here we shall consider a case study or a study by Israeli neuroscientist Shlomo Benzit, who argues that brain needs a lot of stimulation in order to stay in shape. So he says by from this study, what we can conclude is what happens is presented with brain a lot of information. The brain creates new connections and it is revitalized. So this is why it is so important to expose ourselves to the change. Even it is a simple act of stepping out of our comfort zone by going out and mingling with people makes us feel less anxiety. Then, in another study, according to Collins Hemingway and Stomo Benzit in their book Maximum Brain Power. Uh, Here he explains you being exercising your brain by doing a certain task for the first time. When you do a certain task for the first time, you may feel it difficult. But as you learn on and train your mind to do it again and again, when you do it again and again, that is when you do it for the second time, you feel it is little easier to do. That means this has something to do with practice also. So we can better at it. And it has a fantastic effect on our mood as well. And in and of itself, it is a transformation that affects not only the results obtained, but also it improves our self-esteem. Our self-image is improved. So this description of mental workout may little sound formal, but what happens is simple actions of interacting with other people, playing a game, offers stimuli and helps prevent depression that can come from solitude. And our neurons start to age. You should note here that our neurons start to age when we are in our 20s itself. So this process is slowed by intellectual activity and having a curious mind and always having a desire to learn. So, masters, dealing with new situations, learning something new every day can help and benefit us in this direction. Also, playing games, interacting with people, as you can see here, and involving in sports can help us. Furthermore, a positive outlook we should have in this direction to yield ourselves better and have great mental benefits. Then coming to stress, we have let us know factors what all are accused of killing longevity. That is main factor stress. So many people seem older than they are, and research done shows that cause of premature aging has shown that stress has a lot to do with it because the body wears down much faster during period of crisis. That means when we are in some problem that time. So here we gonna see some more information or case studies. Here the American Institute of Stress investigated that degenerative process and concluded that most health problems are caused by stress. And researchers at Heidelberg University Hospital conducted a study in which they subject a young doctor to a job interview. What happens is they gave him a math problem to solve at a hospital for a doctor. Maybe they gave a math problem to solve, and after some time they took the blood sample of him and they discovered that the antibodies of in his body has reacted the same way in which the uh, stress reacts to a pathogen activate I'm sorry, activating the proteins that trigger an immune response. But here, problem is that the response not only neutralizes harmful agents, it also damages our healthy cells, leading which leads us to age premature way. And then at University of California, similar studies were conducted taking the data and samples from women who had high level of stress due to illness of one of their kids compared to the samples of women who had healthier kids. They observed that um, low levels of uh, you know um, stress promotes cellular aging by weakening cell structure known as telomeres. What the study revealed was the greater the stress, the greater the risk a degenerative effect on our cells, which makes us age earlier. So how does actually stress work? We can see from this small video.
Imagine you're getting ready to race. The stress you feel makes your brain signal the adrenal gland to produce epinephrine or adrenaline. Adrenaline increases your heart rate. As a result, more oxygen gets to your muscles. That makes your body ready to react. In a longer term response to stress, the glands secrete cortisol. Cortisol promotes the release of energy, making you ready to race.
So here, for this, I would like to add that these days people are living in a fast pace and are always in a constant state of competition. And stress is a natural response we get in that direction. And being stressed out, we always being having to deal with dangerous or a problematic situation or stress, we are always dealing with stresses. Maybe stress is a useful reaction in some way. How means it helps us to tackle problems or situations. Little stress may help us. So what happens is when there is a challenge, what is explained in this video is, so when there is a challenge, there is an alarm that goes off in our head and makes our neurons active the pituitary gland, and which produces hormones, and they get circulated throughout the body via sympathetic nervous system. And the adrenaline gland then gets triggered in our body, and it releases adrenaline and cortisol. Then this adrenaline raises our respiratory rate and the pulse and prepares or makes us ready to face any actions or to give our response. That means that is getting the body ready to react to a danger. While cortisol increases or the release of dopamine is increased, and also the blood glucose, which is what gets us charged up and allows to face these challenges. So these process, when are in moderate, that is this release of adrenaline, cortisol, everything, it is beneficial and it helps us overcome day-to-day life challenges. But however, today's situation, the stress we are facing is actually clearly is harmful to us. We shall see that. Example here we consider cave dwellers and modern humans. Say for example, cave dwellers, they used to have relaxed and lifestyle that is relaxed most of the time, whereas modern humans, they work most of the time and are alert in all the situations, to take up or to react to the threats. And cave dwellers felt stress only in a specific situation. But today's modern humans are, we are always online, waiting for some notification from cell phone, something like that. Then cave dwellers, the threats were real for them. A predator could end their life at any moment. For modern humans, brain associated with a pinch or a phone call and email notification, they have become like the threat or a predator for us. And as we react to them, we are releasing these hormones and our stress, maybe we are actively reacting to it. That means some amount of stress is continuously there in us. That means cortisol and adrenaline, which is releasing in our body, is in a constant form. And in cave dwellers, high dose of cortisol and adrenaline at moments of danger only is released. That means it kept their body very healthy. As continuous release of adrenaline and cortisol is observed here in modern humans with in a low dose, that is in low dose, that means it form it has some effects on our health also. It may leads to adrenaline fatigue and chronic fatigue syndrome as well. So what is the solution for this? Maybe being more mindful in our day-to-day life activities in order to reduce the stress. So how means stress is a easily identifiable condition and not only causes anxiety but also psychosomatic in a highly psychosomatic way and affecting everything from our digestive system to skin. It affects from our digestive system to skin everywhere. Hence, here prevention is very important. So that in this direction, we have to be mindful. We have to be live a mindfulness uh, in a way of mindfulness. So the central premises of this stress reduction method is only and only by focusing on ourselves. That is, noticing our response in situations in order to be fully conscious of them. In this way, we connect with right here, right now, in the present moment. This leads us to reduce the stress. And here, there is a saying by Roberto that we have to learn to turn off that autopilot that that is steering up in an endless loop in our mind. And one way to do that is mindfulness. To practice mindfulness is through meditation. We all know this, and it helps us to reduce stress by whatever unnecessary information we it processes in our head, it reduces it. And it can also be achieved by breathing exercises, yoga, body scans, everything. And we all know that achieving mindfulness involves a lot of practice. We have to train ourselves, but as I said, with a lot of practice we can focus on our mind and achieve mindfulness, which in return reduces stress and helps us live a longer life. But as I said, a little in previous slides, a little stress is good for you, because while intense stress is known as an enemy for longevity, of course, for also for mental and physical health, it is known as the enemy. But some low level of stress has shown beneficial. Why means, see, life is full of ups and downs, masters, and here we are going to encounter lot of stress, obviously, but is that stress within the limits? That is what we have to be sure of, so that the body can tolerate it, and exceed. If that stress exceed, maybe body cannot tolerate, we encounter different problems. And that is why we need to understand here the all these things so that we can manage our stress. Thus, stress is of course unavoidable, but is it manageable? That is what we have to make sure. And under control, if stress is under control, then that is great, rather than us being under the control of stress. So one question here is, after uh, one question we have to find the solution is that obviously is stress is under our control or we are under its control. Then coming to this one more study here, after observing a group of tests subjected to more than 20 years, Dr. Howard S. Friedman, a psychologist, discovered that people who maintain low level of stress face challenges and they put their heart and soul out and worked in order to succeed. They live longer, of course, rather than people who lived a relaxed life and retired earlier. For this, he conducted small dose of stress, concluded that small dose of stress is positive thing, as those who live with low level of stress tend to develop healthier habits. Also, maybe they will not get addicted to bad habits such as smoking or drinking. And given this, hence it is surprising that many of supercentenarians that we come to see in this part of Japan, that is in Okinawa, that Okinawans, people they live who live there, who aged like up to the 110-year old maybe. That is, you will come to know about them in next sessions. You will meet them. So they has lot to do with active life and good habits in order to have a long to live a long life. And coming to next topic, that is, what is this sedentary life we have in these western countries, what that has effect on ourselves, and what are the things that we can do in order to not live a sedentary life. Let's see now. Spending too much time sitting at home or at office reduces our muscular and respiratory fitness, but increase but also it increases appetite, our appetite, and decreases the desire to participate in activities. But it is easy to be less sedentary in life. So all it takes is some steps that we have to take in order to have healthier lifestyle. Some of the habits, like we have to walk to work if it is nearby, or at workplace we can walk whenever it's possible. We can use escalators. All these things help us. And then participating in social leisure activities, so that we don't spend much of our time wasting in front of a television or our phones. Then replacing junk food with fruits, healthy vegetables, uh, and also it we should have that less urge to uh, munch on the snacks, and more we should focus on having a nutritious food, and then getting right amount of sleep, and the exact 7 to 9 hours of good sleep is helpful in this uh, way. And playing with children maybe and pets whenever time permits us, or joining a sports team whenever it is possible. This not only strengthens body but also stimulates the minds and boosts our self-esteem. Then being conscious in every day-to-day activity every day, that will be helpful in this direction. So by making these small changes, we are tend to have an active happy life. Then one of the thing we have to know here is a model's best kept secret. So friends, one of the thing that tell us the most about people's age is skin, obviously. So skin here takes on different textures, different colors, and according to how we have lifestyle, our skin tells everything about that. So what all goes beneath our surface shows right on the skin. So here, most of those who make their living as models, They claim to sleep between 9 to 10 hours before the night they go to a fashion show. And this gives the skin a taut or a wrinkle free appearance and a healthy, radiant glow for them. So, science has shown that sleep is a key tool because when we sleep, we get or we generate melatonin, a hormone that occurs naturally in our body. So, this powerful antioxidant, melatonin, it strengthens the immune system and it contains an element that produces or that is produced and it protects us against cancer and it promotes the natural production of insulin. It allows the onset of Alzheimer disease and helps prevent osteoporosis and fight heart disease as well. And also, masters, here it should be noted that having eating a balanced diet and getting more calcium may help in this direction. And soaking up a moderate amount of sun. We should not just be lock ourselves inside our home or we workplace. We are always in ACs or inside a building or that like that. So we should make sure that we are going out and soaking up some amount of sun every day. And as I said in the earlier slides, getting enough sleep and avoiding alcohol, tobacco, caffeine, and all these things. So basically, the anti-aging attitudes, what we can have is that in this, I would like to explain that the life we live is actually important, equally important for longevity. So the mind has tremendous power over the body and how it quickly ages. So most doctors agree that the secret for keeping body young is to keep the mind active. That is a key element for our Ikigai. Is that not to caving in when we face difficulties throughout our lives. So consider here, masters, one study at Yeshiva University. They found that people who live the longest have two things in common, that is a positive attitude towards life and high degree of emotional awareness. And in other words, those who face challenges, with a positive outlook are able to manage their emotions and they are winners already. They are having their way towards longevity. And a stoic attitude, serenity in the face of setback, it can also help in this manner. And as lower anxieties and stress level stabilizes this behavior, this can see this can be seen in a greater life expectancies. This can be observed to achieve greater life expectancies and deliberate having a good lifestyle. And in this manner, many centenarians and super centenarians have similar profiles. They have a fulfilled life, full life. They lived their life fully at the even at the times of difficulties. They handled it very well, and their approach towards the life and at the time of challenges, positive attitude, and not being overwhelmed by the obstacles they faced, that these things help them live longer. So finally, there is this authors observe at Ogimi that a woman who is about to turn 100-year-old is actually singing in her local language this following song, which means I will read it here. To keep healthy and have a long life, we should eat just a little of everything with relish. We should go to bed early, get up early, and then go out for a walk. We live each day with serenity and we enjoy the journey to keep healthy and have a long life. And then we get on well with all of our friends at spring, summer, fall, winter. We happily enjoy all the seasons. So the secret is not to get distracted by how old the fingers are getting, from the fingers to the head and back once again. But if you keep moving with your fingers working up to 100 years, that means 100 years or more will come to you. So, masters, here I would also like to share that not only the people who live in these five blue zones or especially in this Okinawa, we tend to see a lot of people, even in our country and also in India. Some of the examples here I would like to share is regarding one of the person. Her name is Timmaka. That is, she is known as Salumarada Timmaka. She is from Karnataka. She is a Padma Shri awardee. Even today, she is living. She is almost age of 111 today, and she is an environmentalist. She has whole of her life from earlier days to even at this age, most of the time, she dedicated herself planting trees and all regarding, creating awareness regarding environment. She is living that passion of hers, pursuing her passion. She has whole life she has lived in that way. And one more example I would like to give here about Swami Shivananda Saraswati, who was also recently awarded a Padma Shri award. He claims to be he is that 125 years old. He is a yoga guru and a spiritual leader. His contribution, due to his contribution to in the field of yoga, he was awarded Padma Shri award also. So lot of examples. Also, we can see people who live in village. We can relate to them as well. And one of the example here I would like to give from my personal life is that I have a great grandmother who is around 100 years of age. She is in her village living even today. And I observed that I came to know from my grandmother that she's her mother, that she used to do yoga and meditation since a long time before. That means at middle of 50 years or something like that. From that time, she used to do this meditation, yoga, everything, and she used to live her life very actively. And she used to say that she never even that even up to age of 90s or 95 or so, she used to do her own things on her. She was not depending on others, doing her day to day activities. So these we have these kind of people. That means our grandparents, we can relate to them in our life. So we have to observe what they did, how their lifestyle they led. Maybe that lifestyle changes we have in today's life. So that's why we have lot of stress, all these things. So we should get connected back to people what they did those days, earlier days. They, for example, they used to have dinner at night, way before, like at 8 o'clock. Even my grandparents today, they finish off their dinner at 7 and they almost go to sleep by 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or so. And they get up early, they wake up early, they are living active life. They live by themselves and they are actively living. They are not dependent on anybody. So all these things we should consider, and we should imbibe or in make that part of our life at earlier stage only, so that we have our way towards longevity. We can live a happy and long life as well. So in next coming up sessions, we will see everything related to exercise and all that, masters. So Thank you so much. So here I would like to end today's session as well. Yes, Master. So yes, ma'am. So this was all about today's session. And we shall discuss now. Anything questions related to it, we shall take up now, Masters. So go ahead. You can unmute yourself and I'll unmute and you can raise hand.
Yeah, thank you, Sindhuja ma'am. Beautiful, beautiful information. Lot of health related stuff you shared today. And yeah, kudos to you and our sincere gratitude to you for sharing this information, coming with so much of research, and gave a lot of tips how to live happy life and anti-aging information. So thank you very much. And yes, masters, please raise your hands or unmute yourself and share your experience regarding the information, or if you have any questions. So we would happy to listen to you all. Yes, Upendra sir.
Namaste. Very nicely explained, Sindhuja ma'am. Thank you so much. And now the question I have with respect to stress. One of the things, adversity, like something, death in the family, or in my case, like losing elections and things like that, they create a sort of a down feeling. And, one cannot let it go like that, and so you have to really bounce back. I think that's where the stress element comes into picture. I've seen a lot of my colleagues who lost elections. They just go into a depression. They get very bitter, and I mean, it's not typical for somebody to run for office and lose elections and all that, but maybe I'm a special category. So I have lost 2 elections, even though I won 9 elections, but I lost 2 elections. And so it took me a little bit of time, but I quickly bounced back. And I think that helped me fight my stress. I think the stress management, that was very helpful to me. And trying to be more active, and physical activity increases your brain power, and keeping your mind active, like learning new things in my life, always kept me going forward. So I just, it was very interesting to observe some of the things that were narrated today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pendra sir. Awesome. You are able to get back to the normal life, happy life. Yeah, I know meditation helps a lot. And the spiritual tablet concepts we have, right? If something doesn't come to you, that means you are not ready for that. And every act we do is do for a selfless act. When we have that intent in our mind, then we don't have disappointment, right? So when we have some attachments, and when we have like some greed attached to it, then all the problem comes in. But our intention should be, our goal should be open and to the service, then money comes automatically. But in our in a recent generation, it's like we are first focusing on the money, not our action. So that's where all the problem coming. But you have to come from different side. Service should be the first, and then money will flow. That's what happened to Patriji sir, right? We have a example. And even most of the successful people, if you see, they did intention what world needs. So that's how they started.
Yeah, money has never been my focus. Yeah, I never I never cared for money. I never went after money. I think trying to do something and whatever you try to do, succeeding that. I think that's what made me go forward. I think money comes and goes, and I have not seen many wealthy people happy. So I don't think I was not chasing money. I was chasing for accomplishment and trying to do things and uh, go forward in life. That's what.
Yes, sir,
Sir,
absolutely. That's why
this
you
is
were able
Devi.
to bounce back quickly because your intention was different, not on the money. That's why you were, happy.
Thank you.
You were
Thank you.
able to come to that happiness state. Yeah. Thank you, Pinder sir, for sharing your experience.
Yeah, I will add one thing, Swarna madam, here. I understood, from this book and other places that, like, from childhood onwards, especially these days, parents, pushing kids towards success oriented, or, on always, success. They never see the failure, so when they hit the big failure, that's when major depression is coming. So even if a small failure happens, then we should teach them that that's okay and that's a part of life, right? You cannot succeed 100 times. So that is the kind of lacking these days. People are running behind it. I think Upendra sir, you might have had small incidents, but not in this same regard, but in other places, that might have built up some strength and to come back, or bounce back. So that's one thing we should teach towards the younger generation, or even ourselves, right? We should accept first that things will happen, or might happen. So the acceptance is the first key to bounce back, actually. That's my opinion. I just want to share that. So a lot of kids, when they go 20s, if they have never seen a failure before that, and all of suddenly, they go in the bigger community, and they might feel themselves, not succeeded, and then they are hitting major depression at that time. So
That's right, Sridevi ma'am.
thank you.
Beautiful sharing. Yeah, very good. Correct. Yeah, we need to. That's why when parents come to the meditation, they can be a great parenting. They can do a lot. They can focus what is important and what is not important, right? So yeah, thank you for your sharing. Yes, Vidya ma'am.
Thank you, Swarna ma'am, and thank you, Sindhuja ma'am. A lot of information you shared. Everything was is so relevant for us about stress, especially handling stress. So thank you very much for the detailed research and some of your own examples. And I just wanted to point out what I caught in the discussions and in your presentation. First of all, some stress is good, which is what you said, and then how you mentioned about cavemen that time, that they had stress, but it was like the adrenaline, whatever is generated, is for the right cause, like when there was real threat, right? And nowadays we just imagine a threat and we generate all those hormones which are not needed for us. So we live a lot in our mental life and keep imagining unrealistic threats too. So your statement about being in the moment and being aware and mindful is very important to reducing stress. So thank you for pointing that out. The other thing is, yeah, I was a teacher, and I think after software, being a programmer, I quit and became a teacher. So when it's new, yes, there is a stress involved because it's new. So that was good. But afterwards, slowly later on, I was a special education teacher, so there was a lot more stress involved in there with the parents, mostly with the parents actually. So when I couldn't handle, I could see the signs in my body. I was gaining weight. I couldn't sleep well. So immediately I decided I'll just quit and first take care of handling my stress once I can handle. And that's when meditation came to me. And I'm so thankful. This was just before COVID. And I have been meditating, and definitely that reduced the stress. I can sleep well, and I still have to exercise to lose weight, but I can sleep well. And I can feel that maybe I'm on the other side now. You said, not having stress is also bad. So maybe I have to watch out. That balance is where, because when you don't have that stress, little bit of stress, you're not motivated to do many things, right? So we need that much to go and do. So maintaining that good balance, I think maybe you can help us understand how to get that balance also. And one more thing I wanted to mention was, yes, this year, for some reason, it's surprisingly, I met two people, one aged 95-year-old lady in Europe when I went, a friend of ours, his mother-in-law. She looked so happy, active. I was just awed by her. She was walking around. She showed me all around the garden, and her bedroom is upstairs, and every day she walks up and goes and sleeps. She played piano, and she was able to play without a book also. And I could see, and I just was like asking her, she takes care of cats, and many times she lives alone too. There's nobody else. Her son and all live little far. They come check. So I was really amazed. And she said she was always active. She kept herself active. I don't know her too much, but I was really amazed. And the other person I met, actually, I think we have the person here whose grandmother I met. She will turn 100 in a couple of months, I think, soon. And I met her. She is Vardhini ma'am's grandmother. She is so active and happy. I saw her, she was laughing, giggling, watching TV, and, having the time of her life. And I would let Vardhini ma'am actually talk, because it's nice to hear all these stories of other people somewhere, but when we know someone around us, it is nicer to share those too. And she told me she had COVID, not just in the third time, but the first or second time it came around, and she came out of it. She did not even realize she had COVID. So mentally, she had no awareness of it. I think maybe that helped her. And so, Vadni ma'am, if you're there, please share about your grandmother. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vindhya ma'am. Beautiful sharing. Yes, yeah, little stress is always good. Just we need to try to find, again, write a journal, and we have those Ikigai, right? What I love and what I am good at, and what is my profession and what the world needs. You don't have to do profession, but what world needs. So you try to organize your time. So you are all a whole day, you are busy, right? At the same time doing service. So, some point of time, people say that, you don't have to have a profession to have a purpose in life. You can enjoy. If maybe your family member or somebody might be supporting, like, all our mothers had no job. And I can share with my grandmother. Yeah, she's also 90 plus. And she had a very hard life, right? Those days, no money, nothing, and selling vegetables. And she used to get some crackers for us when we were little. But she's still alive. She had gone through so many, fracture, back fracture, leg fracture. But she would just sleep for 1 month or 2 months, and then again she would bounce back. So she's so happy. She's so happy. Even she's better than my mom. We always tell my mom that, look at your mother, how she has zero complaints. That doesn't mean she doesn't have any problem, right? But she's always happy. So my mom, whereas my mom complains for everything. So she has her own thing. But yeah, so they're always happy that they are alive, right? They are alive. So that is the main importance. So whatever they are in that situation, they find the gratification and the happiness. Even though the people they are looking, they are not that good, but still she's so happy. We always say, why don't you come to us? But no, she's just happy there. So yeah, happiness Means whatever, wherever we are, if you can find your happiness, find the little things, what you are great about, then I think you will find your happiness. So
True.
yeah.
Like Sindhuja ma'am said, right? That these long who live long, their main secret is even through obstacles and difficulties, they don't let that affect them. So I
No.
guess that is what we need to teach our kids to, these that's why we say failures, you should learn from it and not go down with it. But yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes. Uma Mahesh.
Here. And
Okay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, masters. So as Vindhya said, I'd like to just explain briefly about my grandmother who is turning 100 years old by next March. And she used to be very active till 1 year ago before she was hit with COVID. But even after hitting COVID, she was there in hospital during the second COVID time for 10 days. And she fought like anything and she came back to home with good health. And even after coming home, she was bedridden nearly for 3 months. She could not wake up and do all that, but still, with her strong intention or whatever it may be, now again she came to normal and she is leading her a normal life. And even today, she goes to restroom on her own and do all the daily course that which is related to her on her own, taking bath and all that, in a way of very disciplined. And most of our friends, Chandra sir, Vindhya ma'am, and most of them met her in my house when they came here. She used to work a lot in the home, and in her leisure time she just watches TV. Maybe it is her Ananda Brahma. She used to interact even while watching plays and all that. She'll be speaking with them and watching with great laugh and all that. Maybe it is her own Ikigai, not taking any tensions and all that. That's what I'd like to share. And thank you for giving this opportunity. And I wish all our team members and spiritual family to have a long life like our elders do, without tensions. Thank you. And thank you, Sindhya ma'am and Swarna ma'am, for giving a beautiful book narration and explanations which are given and answers to the questions by Chandra sir in a most authentic way. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vardhini ma'am. Beautiful. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing her experience. I was imagining how you were explaining. She laughs while watching, so she has her own conversation with the character, I believe. So, yeah, if your goal is to live happy life, you will find every situation to live happy. So, thank you, ma'am.
Very good morning. I think Sumesh wanted to talk. His hand was raised for a long time.
Yes, sir. It was, yeah. Now I don't see, I guess.
I'll just ask him.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes. Good morning, madam. Good morning, sir. It was wonderful information actually, and just I wanted to share my own family experience. My father lived 94 years, and he was with me actually in the flag end. Actually, about 85 onwards, actually, he was with me in Bangalore. And the secret when I wanted to search for a secret of his in the sense coolness, happiness, and as well as the health. So I went to my uncles and all other people who was engaged during his previous tenure of, and he's a KSRTC driver actually, and MSRTC driver, Mysore State driver. And I searched actually, first is actually he was respecting his body. And every weekly, without saying, actually, he used to take a oil bath massage, actually about 250 ml of oil. Actually, that is Brungambuta Taila, something was coming at that time. Second secret is actually, first is respecting the body. Second one is, you are very much right, social gathering actually, and he used to attend every functions, even though he was a um, driver having a schedule, things like that. Third one is actually during that time when he was a driver, actually there is no pharmacy, medical centers. So whenever he is traveling from one destination to another destination, all the people used to give him a chit actually of medicines. And he used to reach to the destination of some district level or that time taluk level and all. He used to purchase all the medicines and keep it in a correct the sequence actually. And he used to distribute while driving back. Actually, he used to distribute. So and it is he never ever thought about actually tomorrow. So he lived life that moment, and that is what actually I learned from the many people who the in the journey, actually my uncles and aunts and all those things actually. So this is what I learned from my father alone. So I am trying to inculcate many things with that learning, what I have seen personally. And up to his death, actually 92 years that actually he don't have any eyesight problem, and he never even till death actually he never even holded the stick actually. And I bought the stick from somewhere I traveled actually. I bought for a stick. He just told, just hang it there. I don't want this. This is my experience, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Somesh sir. Beautiful, beautiful sharing.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Jagrati.
Beautiful,
Jagrati.
very beautiful morning and evening to all the beautiful people over here. I will just add a few words, my few experiences, which I have overcome since 2 years, 2.5 years. One thing is that the stress which we experience at our professional level, we are having another choice. We take another choice and we can adjust at the professional level, but the expectations and stress which we come across by our family members, it is a bit harder to overcome that stress, because profession we can change from one to another, but we can't leave our family members, our relatives from whom we experience stress. A few common points which I will like to add is like we are compelled to attend certain functions. We are compelled to wear a particular type of clothes, to behave in a particular manner, and all such many. You all must be knowing the list is very long. So it's very important to become immune to all these factors also, which we face from our family members and relatives, because I used to get triggered by all these factors. Now, since I've entered into spirituality quite profoundly, I have become immune to all these things. The triggers which I experienced from my very near family members and relatives, and that has brought a very big change in my behavior, in my health. Since 3 years, I have not taken a single medication. I'm meditating sincerely, and I'm receiving compliments from my friends and relatives, but I'm not able to make clear that what I've undergone and what changes I have made, except telling them about the spiritual path and following meditation sincerely daily. So it's very important to become immune to all the trigger points, which I was not able to till recently. Only since 3 years, I have become a bit stronger and more independent and healthier than earlier. Otherwise, I used to cry very often. I used to try to fulfill all the expectations which my parents expected from me, like study medicine and wear a particular type of clothes, to attend certain functions and all that. All this I've stopped since a few years. But on the other hand, I also feel that I'm hurting them somewhere. So we have to keep a balance between these factors, and we have to make them understand that expectations, the more they expect from others, the more they will be hurted. So along with us, they too have to become immune to expectations and to trigger points. So thank you so much for the beautiful sharing. I learned a lot from this morning sessions of spiritual tablets. My heart full of thanks to the whole team and all the participants in this group. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jagruti ma'am. Beautiful sharing. That's right. Yeah, there are expectations from everywhere, but when we are vibrating at the higher energies, the love and compassion energy, the other people can only receive love and compassion, ma'am. You know, I have seen in my family, right? So they won't have anything to complain about us. They have a lot of time, and we do have a lot of time to meditate, and they don't have any reason to fight or reason to argue, because the whole environment is so quiet. That's my house experience, I'm telling. So they can also pick up whatever they want. So my husband recently, he picked up to learn guitar because nothing to talk, nothing to fight, nothing, right? So he got so much time. So he said, like, I'm so bored. What should I do? I will pick up something. So that's how we influence. I understand, the remotely our parents will be expecting from us, but talking to them, explain them, they can also sense our energies. So yeah, so nothing when we are vibrating with love and compassion, there is no disappointment, but there is no expectation too. So yes, ma'am. Thank you, Jagruti, ma'am. So that's my experience. Felt like sharing. Yes, ma'am. Who else? I think Lakshmi, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Lakshmi, ma'am. If you want to share.
I think, yeah, Lakshmi, ma'am raised her hand.
Yeah, hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Hi, ma'am. Great session. I just wish to share what few words I had written it for my grandfather, who we lost him at 92. But what I realize is this, that most of us have the living legends of our family, own members. And this session was all about to keenly observe them. That's it. And I probably must have shared even before this the few words, but I would really take this opportunity to show that gratitude to him, my grandfather. I'll just read those few words. Yeah, the gratitude to my grandpa. His name was Basappa Uppin, one who taught how to laugh when one's heart is heavy, one who worked harder even when he was rich, one who helped others even when you are poor, one who never stood in front of God begging to reduce his pain, instead made work as his worship, one who achieved what he dreams following his heart, one who lost his kids, still knew how to appreciate laughter in his grandkids, one who taught his grandkids how to bring mangoes in cheaper, but to share with others while eating, one who taught how to eat ghee and sweets, still to not have diabetes and hypertension, one who taught how to make friends, remember them till death, one who taught how to make marriages of 8 children and 19 grandkids, one who taught how to keep going, working, even when people blamed him for everything, one who never got tired, never got aged, one who had black gray hair, went 92 and smiled while dying too. Yeah, he's the legend of our family. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Masters. This is what I'm always inspired by my own grandfather. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. Beautiful sharing. Love the poem as always. Yeah, you need to share some tips with us so we can also follow him. So thank you so much. You're fortunate that you're his grandchild. So, yes, Master Chandra sir, your comment, sir.
Wonderful session. Really wonderful. And example, one of the picture that Sindhuja had put was rabbit.
Sir, your voice is low, sir. I don't know.
Yeah. See, I mean, one of the pictures that Sindhuja presented had a rabbit in it. And, what were discussions we had all this while brings the story of the hare and the tortoise, or the rabbit and the tortoise, that story. And everyone expects that the rabbit will win the race. And no one expects the tortoise to win the race. Let's look at all these stories, the poem that Lakshmi ma'am read out. What does it give us? The input is disappointment is equal to expectations minus reality. The trigger that we get this stress is because we fail to recognize reality vis-a-vis the potential outcome. We take potential outcome to be the reality. And we start looking at our life only from our perspective, not the universal perspective. And the end result of this kind of a scenario is stress. So I think what we are taking away from this session is learn to recognize that reality. So if that reality is probably a few steps more, which were forgotten to be taken up. And if we look at our progression in life and fine tune with this recognition of reality, I don't think there is scope for any stress, which stems from the disappointment and expectation. So given that, probably all the experiences have somewhere in between stated, in between the experiences and the lines, state that there are two entities which are very important. One is acceptance. The other one is surrender. And how do we do it? We learn to recognize these two and say, probably there is a lesson I have missed. I need to pick up that lesson and move on. If we live our life with those, and if we really analyze all the examples that were stated in the book, we realize that the people of the 5 blue zones in the universe, in the world, have learned to live or imbibe these qualities in their lifestyle. So probably that is what will help us take the lessons from there and implement it for ourselves, thereby finding our Ikigai and living to the Ikigai. Thank you. It was really a wonderful session.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Beautiful wisdom. Yes, sir. There's a lot to take, and from your summary has so much deep meaning about disappointment and expectation, missing the reality. So accept everything, So you may have some lessons to learn, and just what's wrong, right? Just experiment. When you accepted everything is okay in this world, whatever is going on, then where is the resistivity, right? So with that understanding, we don't resist. Otherwise, we plan everything from our mind, and then we feel that, oh, I have planned this one, why this is happening? And we think, too much into, oh no, soul is not supporting this. But just to go and be adventurous, be courageous. See, you can be down to earth, just be a down to earth, grounded. So those are the quality. If you inculcate, then yes, there won't be any disappointment, and there's always a satisfaction. Yes, sir. So beautiful, beautiful, sir. Thank you very much. And yes, masters, thank you, sir. Thank you. Your guidelines, sir. We are telling, repeating your guidelines to you. So, so yes, masters. Anybody else? Naina ma'am, or all other master who haven't, this is your opportunity to share, masters, so we get chance to learn from you, listen to you. It's a beautiful topic.
We have Naina who has raised her hand.
Yeah, thank you, Sindhuja ma'am. Extremely well done. So impressed with your slides, and impressed with how you put it. Also, as others have told everything about everything, as Sir summed it up very beautifully. I want to thank you, pay my gratitude, because, you took that commitment, waking up at, for our dry runs so early. It is so difficult, but you were so enthusiastic to take inputs from all of us and take it very positively, and you would, improve, and you would ask again, I think, So thank you so much, because it meant a lot to us, because we were so afraid, as time difference was too much and it would be too early for you. But still you continued, and kudos to you and whole team of Ikigai. Thank you, very beautifully put. Thank you, masters.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It is just that this book itself has motivated me to take up this book club, and I really wanted to come out of my boundaries. That's why I took up this, even though it was an odd timing for me. And yeah, all of you motivated me. Chandra sir's input, everything helped me to deliver in this way. And also Lakshmi ma'am, Naina ma'am, Gayatri ma'am, all the masters of my friends who will conduct this Ikigai. Inputs by these friends itself made me to deliver in such manner. So yes, ma'am, thank you so much for everyone, and the spiritual tablets team as well. Connecting with spiritual tablets team was once a big change in my life, I can say. So yes, thank you so much, everyone. I really am very much having a feeling of gratitude. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, I especially want to thank Chandra sir, because he has been like pillar of strength for all of us. You know,
Yes.
come what may, he's there for us for all our dry runs. Till now, whichever book clubs we have done, whatever wisdom sessions we have taken, it is because of him. And I, from my heart, pay my gratitude to him. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, Naina ma'am, I echo with you. Sir reads more books whenever we come up with a book club. He reads multiple books, so he can give his opinion and his inputs, right? So we don't even catch up with Sir's research and Sir's book. We just take one book, whatever we are sharing, and take Sir's inputs. So that's how we prepare. That's how we are different than Sir. So kudos to you, Sir, always. And yeah, what is your time, Sindhuja, ma'am?
Ma'am, now it is 5 o'clock, ma'am, around 5.
Yeah.
Morning.
So yeah, 5. So yeah, definitely you get up at 3:30 each day since we started this book club. So kudos to you, really brave soul. We have learned so much from you, even though you are young. And this is your,
Yes,
younger than us, and you are less into meditation. But you have really courageously took up this book club and brought so much information from your research. So very, very gratitude to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, I would like to add one sentence. Can I add one sentence?
Please, sir. Please.
Yes, sir.
This is your platform.
See, I want to see how you people handle the upcoming sessions, because Sindhuja has set the expectation. Right? How are you people going to deliver, either to meet or accept or exceed? That is going to define the highlights of Ikigai in this book club. To just be aware of her. She has set very high standards right at the beginning. So all of us have to rise to the occasion and deliver to the best of our ability, which I'm sure we will do, but don't tie an expectation around that, though that is deliberate reason I'm wanting to mention that the Ikigai is equal to acceptance of reality and enjoying reality. So beware. Thanks, Sindhuja. You have done a wonderful job when this happens to be the very first book club that you have attended.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was only possible because of the guidance you have given beautifully, sir. I just took up all the things and just done it in the way you guided me, sir. Really, thank you so much.
I think it was a team effort, and there were about 7 of
sir,
us.
definitely.
All of us have contributed, which we will continue to do.
Yes, sir.
And this kind of wisdom is something which is necessary, not only for the people who are attending, it is also necessary for us who need to practice. Thanks. I mean, I just wanted to add that bit, that Ikigai in the book club of Ikigai. So there is scope for that.
Yes, sir. Double Ikigai. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. We are all finding our Ikigais while doing these book clubs and listening to every master. And yeah, this is a journey, sir. So, yes, masters. Anybody else?
I think from tomorrow onwards, we should expect others to share, and those who have shared will probably, except for the first person who opens the dialogue, breaks the ice, I think others also should be motivated enough to share. Please.
Yes, sir.
That will
Next
make this
time, I think,
session. Yes.
yeah, we all will just keep quiet and let's wait for others to come and share their view.
Thank you.
Okay, masters. I think no one has any sharing or questions. I think we can conclude today's wisdom session, and we'll meet again next week, next Saturday, with another beautiful chapter. And I know Master is this Diwali, but it's morning to India and evening to US. So I think most of you will still make it. So yeah, let's meet next week, Saturday, Masters. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and contribution. Bye,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank
Bye,
you. Thank you
Sandhya.
to you
Bye-bye.
also. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. See you next week. Thank you all.